Welcome back to Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader, where last time we were continuing to explore the Cornus Expanse. I believe we had just dealt with a Nurgle cult in a destroyed Inquisition black ship, or I guess Imperial black ship, which is a black ship being like a ship that is used to transport psychers from across the galaxy to Terra in order to either feed them to the God Emperor of mankind or to send them off to psyker school, basically. Or I guess those who don't make the cut. And after we left that place, blew up that ship, remains of that ship, and or had blown up the remains of that ship, and now we were free to go other places. So I don't remember too much about what happened. It wasn't a lot. I know we faced off with some pirates, killed them like in a space battle. I'm pretty sure there was another battle where there were like against chaos cultists, and warp cultists. And it was in a system that had like a giant like jump gate, like a giant deactivated jump gate in it. And when we approached the jump gate, we basically got it's deactivated. We don't know how to activate it. And whatnot. Or I think like the Inquisition had purposefully deactivated it after investigating. Is that happening before? You don't see that little like line there? Huh. I don't think that was there before. But anyways. After leaving that system, we left and trying to remember if there were any like I don't think there was much that really happened. We came to Kiava Gamma, took out some chaos cultists in orbit around the planet, and that was about it. We found on like one of the planets in that same system of Kiava Gamma, we found a Corda mining facility in one of the planets or planetoids, which was not supposed to be there because the system is supposed to be Valankius territory. So we just took it. It's ours now, that mining facility. And yeah, kind of all that I really remember. I don't remember if there were any like special battle maps that we were on or anything. There was also a huge like 12 gigabyte update as well that should have fixed a bunch of bugs and also and those didn't show before, those abilities. Strip your 5 of anything of value. Okay. Expand. I know that they did like a lot of rebalancing of like a lot of the abilities, so I'm just like checking that I would really even be able to tell at a glance. This stuff. Yo, don't give that stuff. Okay. I want to go to the bridge. A while since we've gone to the bridge. I want to see if there's anything just like bridge events that happen. Me returning to it. You know? Okay. Nothing new.
Lord Captain. Lord...
You have my complete attention.
Incident. Some sort of quarters.
May the Exalted One protect you. Have you grown bored without our little talk, Shireen?
It seems you and Trickster Core were close. Shame he lost his head.
My gang is quite the void beast, Shireen, with 3 heads stemming from a single neck. Core's untimely demise will not interfere with our mutual business. I do feel sorry for his twin, though. Tora has been getting into trouble with her brother since they were kids. Getting out of trouble too, but not this time.
Sparkle in Jay's eyes, Jay's dark eyes fades for an instant. She looks away and continues dryly.
But why are we talking about the departed, Shireen? We must save a few good words for the living. Take Falco, for example. I will impale that ashmag on a stake, Shireen. You will see. I will pick a slim one, so he has more time to appreciate it.
Jay clenches her steel hand until it starts squeaking in protest.
Oh, I have no doubt.
Very nice. Very good.
The Omniscient knows all.
Random navigator. Even here on the bridge, I can feel the echoes of the warp. This ship has crossed the veil of the Immaterium so many times that its bulkheads are steeped in its energies. Navigator Cassini at your service, Captain. I see that they are still T-posing though. Good, good, excellent. Where? There we go. These seem to have gone down. They're supposed to have a bunch of void ship stuff. Torpedo tubes capable of firing 4 plasma torpedoes with 19 damage warheads. Mezzoa Lance. Four shots. 14 times 4. Within a narrow damaging arc. Let's see. We already have that. We have that. Scrap box. This. Oh. Don't have anything we can trade, really? Really? True. Targets of taunting screams suffer a -2 times strength times plus bonus penalty to their willpower against this ability. 15 Imperium. Being 6. And untradable. Sorting. Right type. My name, actually. We have so much fucking fuel. Like a that. Oh my god. There we go. Now we're level 1. Jewelry. They like jewelry. Market uniform kit. Don't have a whole lot of those. Okay, militant cloak. First melee attack in combat cannot be parried or dodged. Elite chain sword. That plus mean? Seems new. Most warrior plus 10% parry, -10 to enemy weapon skills when hit. Profit factor 41. Yeah, at least get ourselves up to level 2, you know? See what we can do with that. Sanctified staff. The wielder of the staff with a power level of 5 plus Psyker's Resolve gains the Emperor's Wrath ability. The ability is also available in its Heroic Act and Desperate Measures versions. Power level affects the damage of this power. Using Emperor's Wrath grants the Psyker additional armor equal to the staff's power level until the start of the Psyker's next turn. Does not stack. Alright, Emperor's Wrath. Everyone adjacent to the target point suffers 1 plus psi rating times. So at this point, we're at like what, 2? So 3 times Psyker's staff power. What's the power for this one? Dang. Quite far here. Invigorating Resolve. Whenever the wearer and allies in 2-cell radius gain momentum, they also gain an equal amount of temporary wounds. Combat Manipulator. When the wearer uses a non-attacking consumable item, it counts as an attack of a different type than the previous attack for the purposes of that. Okay. Ooh. Portative Manipulator. Using reload. New weapon costs -1. Flexion gloves. These gloves allow the wearer to parry melee attacks with their ranged weapon using ballistic skill instead of weapon skill. Medikay also grants after using a medkit. That for a good friend. For a good friend. I don't have the wealth for that. Vanicus Creations. Surprised that doesn't have like more worth to them. Because like that seems like it's specifically made for the Mechanicus, you know? Some of that. Some of that. Name Tokara. I'm meant to brace this. Tokari. Whenever the wearer kills a target with a single ranged attack for the first time in combat, the wearer immediately gains an additional attack this round. Pretty good. Psyker's breastplate. Heavy armor. The wearer's successful single attacks inflict stun on the target for 1 round if they fail. Oh, yo. That's like really good. The heck? Using 9 allies targeted by the navigator's power. Storm Bolter. Damn. refuse, artifacts. Still not even at the first. Ugh. Okay. Faded boots. Where it hits an opening with the charge slash dance become, they inflict bleeding on the target. Ran. I knew this. This code grants you a 10% parry reduction, 5% armor penetration for melee attacks. Serrated greatsword. When a critical hit, this sword inflicts +1 stack of the laceration effect for each stack of laceration. All attacks with this sword against the same target deal plus 10% damage. Okay. Auto pistol, pirate chainmail. Whenever kills a target marked as prey, they gain a stackable bonus to the end of combat. Bonus depends on the difficulty. Bow hammer. Ooh. Swashbuckler cloak. One of the wearer has 2 melee weapons equipped. They gain +10 weapon skill and crit. Arch militant's boots. Whenever the wearer performs a melee attack after a ranged attack, the target of the melee attack should pass it or get knocked prone. Poet's Grace. Precinct Vox Relay. If an ally under the effect of the wearer's Bring It Down ability successfully hits an enemy with an attack or targets them with an ability, the wearer gains +1 fellowship and willpower until the end of combat. Oh right, we have like a discount. Roar about that. Damn, we can get stuff all the way up to right. Okay. Girl? She's over here. Irlet's lithe form stands frozen in an unnatural pose amid the blinking lumens and dancing shadows of the bridge. Her hands are clasped together strangely, and her eyes are tightly closed. Her chest is utterly still, as if she's not breathing at all. Yeah, she's meditating. Don't interrupt it. Ayla remains unmoving the entire time that you watch her, and only the barest flicker of her eyes beneath her closed lids lets you know that she is still alive at least. Wait a while. For the first time, Mirlet takes a deep breath in through her nose and barely audibly exhales. Her body remains as relaxed as ever, and her eyes are still closed. Your presence does not seem to be in any way distracting her. It's the meditation you told me about, isn't it? Irlet's face remains passive, almost serene. The only movement comes from her hands, which intertwine smoothly, forming a new intricate gesture. She still does not hear your words, or is choosing to ignore them. Cough loudly, shout in anger, wave your hand in front of her face, snap your fingers next to her ear. It seems it's going to take a while. Find a somewhat comfortable spot and get yourself settled. Irlet still does not react to your presence, and as time passes, you begin to sink into your own thoughts. She baited us into meditating. Gilded chrono in your hands tells you that 2 watch hours have already elapsed. Your muscles feel stiff and your head feels heavy on your neck. When you next glance around the small section of the bridge that Irlet has adapted for her own use, you catch someone's sharp, attentive gaze.
You are still here, Elentak.
Irlet's words do not sound like a question or an expression of surprise. Her eyes quickly sweep over you and she nods in greeting. Mentioned immersion? What is it? You're alright? I was worried. You were deep in a special auditory meditation, weren't you?
Yes. I am sometimes surprised by the depth of your knowledge of my kind's customs, Elentak. But even if listening is your only skill, that in itself elevates you above billions of other monkey.
Irlet arches her delicate brows.
My meditation is immersion. Immersion into myself, my inner world. It is my chance to speak to myself, but without words.
That's called thinking.
Or to heal wounds that cannot be seen with ordinary sight. It is difficult to explain, even in the language of the children of Asurian. There are so many meanings and shades in its sound alone, and the monkey tongue is too sparse and awkward. No. Immersion must be seen to be realized.
Irlet frowns uncertainly.
I should say, Elentak, that during meditation, the mind does not leave the body. Part of it remains vigilant, monitoring what is taking place outside. So I heard every word you said, and I saw everything you did.
Uh-huh. Why, I was well behaved. Irlet lets her eyes fall half closed, giving herself over to memories while still watching you.
Restraint is not a trait that your kind is known for. And yet, you did not interrupt my immersion, Elentak. A worthy act. I will remember this.
Irlet nods to you, curtly but gratefully. So you knew I was there the whole time. You did not even bat an eye.
Immersion requires concentration and unity of mind, body, and spirit. Entering this state unprepared or coming out of it suddenly, can be harmful.
I see. Pressing matters to discuss. Airlet nods wordlessly. Oh, this one. Now that nods curtly, says nothing. Got it. Cool, 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 cool. I love my fucking T-posing servitors. Did I have to do something with this? Your ladyship, the great mechanism has sensed your presence. Oh. Tech Priest greets you with a bow. His gaze is drawn to one of the cogitators vid screens. The blinking screen displays the following: / input. Dat ac OS Valancius task successful. Sense my presence? How? This mechanism was molded in the forges of the Deptus Mechanicus so that it might serve the rogue trader. It was in your presence that this machine spirit first manifested itself, a miracle of the Omnissiah and a testament to his glory. And what's that supposed to mean? The screen blinks and a new entry appears in place of the previous one. Input, prompt, nom, OS, ALG.52136. The machine spirit has recognized the one who stands before it. The previous string of sacred code signified a greeting, as well as acknowledgement that you have successfully completed a certain task. Now the great mechanism stands ready to process your request. What task? The answer lies beyond the bounds of my knowledge. The tech priest looks back at the cogitator. My supposition is that it might have something to do with your recent travels. The vid screen flickers repeatedly and updates the text. Input, prompt, nom, OS, await request, ALG 52137. Inquire about something else. Tech priest bows. Wants me to do something. Vigdish. Any Vox spirits? No, never any Vox spirits. Indicator lumens need to be replaced again. Can our shuttle pilots even land their craft without necessary damage? That's worrying.
I haven't.
Servant's docked vocal cords were recently replaced with a silver-plated implant.
Greetings.
Okay. Pet the lad. Not really doing anything. We're just like seeing if anything's changed. Do I have any more trophies? I do not. Got this plan. Okay. Pascal. Got you a new axe, my boy. Here it is. Thunder Hammer, Brutal Strike. Use Brutal Strike for attacks of opportunity. I feel like that can be very dangerous. Boom. Upgrade. cargo. Nullifying shotgun. Why is it called nullifying? What exactly does this plus mean? Well, my question. Roll to 32, so there's a wider spread of stuff. Okay. This is not as good. It does have a single shot though. Add that to cargo. A single weapon? No. No, it is not. Oh shit, you can use a lot of stuff. +5 agility, +10 athletics. Cannot suffer burning. Makes 3 additional stacks of burning whenever they stand on that. Warmonger boots whenever it kills 2 or more enemies with a single shot. No, not likely with you. Ah. That. Power grippies. Use the recoil of all automatic weapons. Gloves of endurance. When the wearer of these gloves gets an injury or falls unconscious in combat, their allies gain a +1 bonus to damage. And then I can finally give her equipment. So many capes. For +10% dodge. Maybe that camo. Alright. I got called down for dinner, so let me take a break. That took a while. Boop. Boop. I am back. I had we know what they're called. They're like hot dogs, but like instead of it being in like a hot dog bun, it's kind of had like bread wrapped around it. Wrap dogs? I don't know. Anyways. Kind of thinking about this during the break. But there was a huge update, so I just want to see if like any new things were done. I think they rebalanced the game. I know that was done at least. Formation N. Colony management Y. B. I didn't know about these. F11 screenshot. Hold position. Screen space affects performance. We're generally pretty good. I wish there was infrequent. Like, I don't want it to be never, but I still feel like they talk too much. Any new accessibility things? No. Okay. Alright. No, they got rid of the second gore one. No. How could this happen? Terrible. A tragedy. What was I doing? Oh, right. I was going through my inventory and getting rid of useless shit. I've only got one guy who can use these. Alright. It's ranged attacks against non-human enemies. 5 wounds. Okay. You have a flamer. How does this compare to the one that you've got? Oh, this one's shit. Odari chainsword. Freaking pistol, splinter pistol. Arc rifle. One of chainsword. Ah, you can't use it. Regular ass chainsword, cargo. Regular ass auto pistol, cargo. Regular ass chain axe, cargo. Bolter pistol, cargo. Regular greatsword, cargo. Hot shot las gun. Hot shot pistol. Seems like maybe something that would fit you. Marksman rifle, long last. Cargo. Civitas pattern auto gun. Suppressive fire. An increased over penetration. Mars pattern chain axe. Hmm. Hmm? Chain axes actually seem to be pretty good. Protector, laser gun. Oh yeah, be an iconoclast. Abelard, you're an iconoclast? What? Forgot about that. Oh, you can use melta guns. Hunting rifle. The Ripper. Knife. That to cargo. Alright, or that. Normal. Rebel sniper rifle. This just a straight up shotgun. You can't use melt Mastercrafted power maul. Fractal blade. Boost sword. Ooh. This clave's area attack has an increased area effect. Hmm. Looked at that and I immediately thought, is that a fucking... That looks like a fucking thing. Okay, yeah, this is slightly better. Shader pistol. Hot shot las pistol. Higher, all around higher. Only really like the melting effect. Like real difference. Actually can't use like most weapons. Hate that. Well, bam. You got bow hanger. Like a little mini shotgun. Give you a full-blown shotgun. That seems inquisitorial, you know? Ancient Force Sword. We just get anything that's better than that. Reptagun. Oh, hold on. Inferno Blast. One lower range, though, is the problem with that. Orflac Mark IV. Unstable flamer. Heavy bolter. Life draining sword. Heretical. Crafted power maul. Hmm. Oh, this one's two-handed. Not of one-handed. Not longer. 5 to 8. Oh, staff of House Cassini. All allies targeted by their powers. Uh-huh. Alright, I don't use that one because I don't have the stuff. Condition heretical, the rotor restores wounds equal to 25 of the damage dealt. Okay. Alright, there was another one. Heavy bolter. Alright. Just throw a bunch of these away. Where did this shit come from? No. That's Urselio Guardian. Each rogue act used in battle increases the warrior's dodge by plus 20% until the end of combat, max 60. Kills a target with an exploit using a single or deadeye shot. The nearest enemy immediately gains one exploit. Face of the Sovereign. Or adds an additional +1 resolve whenever they kill an enemy. Heirloom auto pistol. Mark of the Ruler. Raider's Cloak. Free each enemy in the radius. Identified it. Yes. Alright, that's enough of that. Let's actually do stuff. Yo. Approach 3, do you copy? Chronic. Dari survivors. Okay. We gotta get to those places too. You know that according to the patch notes, some systems got kind of taken off the map for Act 2. That's why I was checking. Alright. Kiava Gamma. It's a big old triangle of a city right there. Manufactorum of Kiava Gamma. Need to have you. Yeah, this seems pretty good. Kiava Gamma Manufactorum. Alright. Beat up some fucking cultists. That's new. That noise. Alright, what we're looking for here, Heinrich. Heinrich frowns as his eyes sweep over the Manufactorum's dark halls. No solemn ceremony, no personal meeting with Magi. I fear we are too late, and we won't be dealing with clandestine heretics after all. Large factory or manufacturing complex. Binaric arias of alarm stream out of Pascal's Vox synthesizer. In their neurotic broken rhythm, you sense a call to arms and a warning of danger. Remind me, what is your mission on Kiava Gamma? I assumed I would conduct an investigation and track down traces of the cult of the Final Dawn. I believe I can discard that plan now. Both the incident with the scrap code and the manner in which we were forced to land on Kiava Gamma indicate that the situation has taken a turn for the worse. Nevertheless, I must use this opportunity and try to determine what the cult was doing on an industrial world and what specifically interested them on a planet full of sacred machines and servants of the Omnissiah. First, we must find someone who can tell us what's been going on here. Heinrich pauses, straining to hear something. If that is, there's anyone left here to speak to. An imperial world dedicated to manufacturing, mining, or refining. These worlds have sparse populations compared to hive worlds or forge worlds, but which also are often heavily dedicated to industrial activities, as most of the labor on true industrial worlds is done using machines, servitors, and other forms of automatons. Any suggestions on how to proceed? To start, let's look around and find out why the arrival of the rogue trader did not elicit the usual fuss. To speak plainly, I would not count on a warm welcome at this rate. Better keep your weapon at the ready. Learn nothing just standing here. Let's go. The interrogator nods, continuing to stare into the surrounding gloom.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Servitors over there.
Your mind is swathed in blue-grey smoke, Master Van Calox. A heavy color for heavy thoughts, I presume?
You are a dangerous person, Lady Orcelia. Well, all navigators are, but your abilities place you in a special category.
What lies beyond? There will be no peace in my wake.
Servitors before you appear as if they are performing some elaborate and confusing dance. Striking strange poses, they rock back and forth with their arms bent at peculiar angles. Upon your approach, one of the servitors jerks and tries to turn in your direction. The rest immediately repeat the motion. The strange scene is complemented by a grating sound, dull clicks just at the edge of your hearing, coming from an unknown source. Observe the servitor closest to you. Based on a cursory inspection, you conclude that the servitors were designed for precision work on an assembly line, possibly circuit production. The number of high-quality, expensive augments in their bodies greatly exceeds basic standards. Servitor's hand moves. It is slowly reaching towards you. Avoid its touch. Gently and swiftly, you step away from the servitor. It stretches out its hands as if trying blindly to touch you in the space that you have already left. And still once more, it seems its brain is incapable of quickly processing changes in its surroundings. Find the source of the repeating clicks. Soon enough, you locate the source of the clicking. On the back of one of the servitors, a tumor, oozing with murky ichor, is growing straight through the augments. The relays, coated in inflamed tissue, are blocked, hence the reason for the consistent clicking. A mutation in a servitor. Tech priests typically reject the use of flawed soft tissue for their constructs. Perhaps something has caused this aggressive growth, and quite recently. Cut away the tumor. Alright. Without much difficulty, you cut the excess flesh from the mechanisms. The liberated relay lets out a rapid burst of clicks, then a spark flashes before your eyes, and something begins to hum deep inside the servitor's flesh. As if on cue, the servitors stop moving, lower their arms, and turn to you. Crew 24, second lane of the Manufactorum, commencing work. State your request. Servitor addressing you is looking past you, and the voice is coming from the vox built into its throat. Follow your default programming. Are they following me?
They will see. Oh yes, they all will see.
They are. Alright, let's see what this stuff is. Pascal. Before you is an ancient but wholly typical console, intended for use by people not trained in the mysteries of ministering to machine spirits. The cogitator is completely silent, but as you approach, you sense the warmth emanating from its metallic casing, telltale sign that the machine is working. View the lot. You discover the local data crypt with contents collected by either previous operators or the machine spirit itself. Using your access, you study the archives stored on this cogitator. The vast data repositories contain millions of strings related to receiving raw materials for processing, shipping processed metals, and schedules for sacred rituals to be performed over the machines coming off the production line. The Manufactorum once operated like one gargantuan, well-oiled mechanism. The last record is from 2 months ago. Crew 24, second lane of the Manufactorum, commencing standard procedure. I got some buddies who will surely... This thing is not... The massive cogwheel constantly drives the colossal gear system, which is lost in the haze. You hear dull thuds from within the thick metal, as if some process endlessly pounding is running in the depths of these pipes.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
The 16 universal laws, the mysteries. A tome containing revelations of the Omnissiah recorded in special Binheric dialect. Only a member of the cult Mechanicus with a key to the cipher may partake of the wisdom of the machine god. Sure, give you that. Sure, we'll give you that. Okay.
Patience.
Definitely
My
gonna get there
nerves
later.
afraid.
Somebody's here. The lumps protruding under the tech priest's bedraggled red robe hint at the mechanisms implanted in his body. You see his haggard and sickly face under the archaic respirator augmetic. Uh, uh, a click, a clink, a barely audible hiss, and only then the tech priest Vox finishes the word identification. Request denied. Pascal turns to you, his visor gleaming crimson. Registering anomalous behavior within the servant's organics and an invalid new spear response. This unit is compromised. Examine. You carefully study the robe-clad figure. A black border of necrosis spreads out from around the tech priest's implants. For some reason, his body is rejecting the true flesh. A moment later, you recognize the dominant smell in the bouquet of scents permeating the air around the tech priest, the stench of rotten meat. Who are you? The tech priest clicks his relay. Bagos Custos of the Machine Sanctum, Tier 2-0 identification. Where is the fabricator sensor? I will only speak with the person in charge of this manufactorum. Denied. The irregularity demands execution of Protocol 39-442 in accordance with the fabricator sensor's decree. Compared to the Imperium and humanity, I will not comply with any protocols approved by him. Anticipated process disrupted. Execution of disposal protocol recommended. Tech priest draws his weapon, and as his robe opens, your senses are hit by a fetid wave of rot. Let's just get you the fuck away. Heinrich. We'll have you there. We'll have you over here. Pascal, we'll have you deal with this guy. Alright. is this one? Overwhelming stratagem? Magos heretic.
Even I
Disgusting.
won't do that.
Disgusting. Okay. Alright. What does this one do? Overwhelming stratagem. For 1 round, all attacks by allies in that area inflict the overwhelmed effect. Creature suffers minus 25 ballistic skill, minus 25 rate of fire, minus 16 weapon skill. Additionally, melee creatures have their MP reduced by. Holy shit. Oh wait. That done. Get that done. Attacks by allies in the area of like this. Get 'em. Get them, my servants. I'm not gonna be able to get up to him. Alright. If I do this. Alright. Damn. Damn. Good shit. Got some hits there. Hell yeah. Go for it, my servants. Oh, I can no longer fight that guy. My servitor buddies are in the way.
Running binary right.
I should have done that first. I'm a fucking idiot.
The Messiah knows
I'm
all.
a dumbo. A
Comprehend.
dumb. Damn. Oh no! My buddies. Heinrich. You put that on yourself. Void of the Emperor. Okay. Bueno blast. Yes.
I won't object to it.
Alright.
But of course, Lord Captain.
Get close to there. Alright, Cassia. Got that going on. Oh, am I not able to do it because you're right there?
Victory is imminent. An exemplary strike.
All right. Do that. There we go. Now I can do it. Yes. Good. Good. Yes. Get him.
Desire condemns you.
Okay, so they blow up. Good to know. Good to know. What's this? Close-up scanning. Oh. Sure. This on you. Get that old tech priest boy.
Follow my lead. Target well struck.
Very good. Very excellent. Hey, and now it's your turn.
An exemplary strike.
What the fuck was that sound?
The Emperor's judgment.
Okay, that did more damage than I was expecting. Toxic. It did.
My vow is to serve.
1 to 21. Or just a straight 30. I don't know if this counts as an attack or not.
Activate calculated fury algorithm.
Blow him up. Excellent. No. No. Buddies, no. You were doing so well last turn. I did not do that.
Doubt is for the weak.
Oh. Yeah. Not the best first contact with the world's inhabitants. I hope we will find someone more able to hold a conversation, willingly or not. Thank you, servitors. Guessing I'm going to be able to get over there sometime later. Alright, we leveled up. Special ability. Alright, I like never use Taken Hold. What the fuck does Taken Hold do? Choose one combat tactics area. Every ally inside that area gains an extra turn with 1 AP and 2 MP at the start of the Grand Strategist's next turn. For every enemy that was killed in the selected combat tactics area, this AP is increased by 1 up to a maximum of 3, and MP by 2 up to a maximum of 6. Okay. All allies also gain 20% dodge, parry, and armor. All allies selected have weapon and ballistic shield increased by 20. All attacks by allies located in the selected area ignore 20% of the enemy's dodge and armor. The maximum number of action points granted by the Taken Hold is increased to 5. I think 3 is enough. Dodge and armor by 20. I'm gonna go with this one. Assassino. Dispatch. Makes an enemy with the current weapon against an enemy. This attack cannot miss and deals 50% more damage. It also deals additional damage equal to 25% of the target's missing wounds. The assassin's dodge reduction, over-penetration, and parry reduction are doubled for this attack. At the end of combat, the target of Dispatch loses half of its current armor and deflection. Dispatch deals additional damage equal to 45% of the target's missing wounds to 25%. To the end of combat, whenever the assassin hits an opening, they gain plus lethality divided by 15, running down temporary HP. Ooh, a long one. If the Dispatch attack kills the target, all enemies in a 3-cell radius around the target gain plus 2 stacks of Disturbed effect and must pass an agility resistance test or become staggered for 1 round. Disturbed character suffers a minus 10 penalty to willpower and fellowship for each stack of this effect. It's staggered. A staggered character suffers a -20 penalty to weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength, toughness, and agility. Pretty good. Temp HP is also pretty good. Make you a bit of a killing machine. Alright, Unyielding Guard. Until their next turn, the Vanguard attacks each enemy that attacks the Vanguard's allies in 3-cell radius around the Vanguard. Additionally, until their next turn, the Vanguard always retaliates when attacked. Until the end of their next turn, they cannot die. To start the next turn, all damage suffered by the is reduced by toughness bonus, so that'd be 7. Until the start of the Vanguard's next turn, each attack made by the Vanguard makes them a priority target for the enemy hit by the attack. Okay. Until the end of combat, all allies in a 3-cell radius around this suffer minus damage. Until the end of combat, the Vanguard gains plus fellowship bonus 4 momentum for each attack that hits them. Abelard. I think I'm one of these two. I usually have Abelard way up front. Like, he doesn't really have the allies up front. Well, he'll sometimes have Pascal up there, I suppose. But that's about it. Do the tanky option. A superiority. Make one additional attack. First attack after using this ability, and each turn afterward costs 0 HP. First time in combat that the Archmilitant reaches 0 wounds while under the effects of steady superiority or heroic sacrifice. The Archmilitant restores 20% of their maximum hit points at that. To the end of combat, every attack grants a stacking plus 2% bonus to critical hit chance. To the end of combat, the March Militant attacks do not spend all MP. Additionally, each attack grants a stacking 5% bonus to dodge. And use both the heroic act of the Arch Militant and the heroic in a single combat. Ooh, that's pretty good. Being able to use 2 of them. Because her soldier one is also, like, really good. Oh, the double. Okay. Orchestrated Firestorm. The Master Tactician selects a 3x3 zone on the battlefield. All allies, including the Master Tactician, that have line of sight to any enemies inside the selected zone, make an immediate single attack against a random enemy within this zone that they can target with their weapon. And one random ally makes 2 attacks instead of 1. Orchestrated Firestorm and Last Volley can be used multiple times per combat. All allies that have a weapon capable of burst fire use burst fire instead of a single attack at that until the beginning of the attack. Allies automatically dodge all friendly fire. That's pretty good. I have weapons carry. I'm getting 35% up. Bounty Hunter. This is a wild hunt. Simultaneously make several attacks. The number of the attacks is equal to the number of prey in combat. The shit. I think that just means up to 3. These attacks are equally divided among all prey in the bounty hunter's line of sight. The attacks always hit and always score crits. Prior to the attack, all prey suffers a -3 penalty to armor. Gains plus agility bonus, so 3 MP, and restores 3 charges if I hunt down the prey. Whenever the bounty hunter attacks exactly one target with Wild Hunt, this attack deals 300% damage. All prey has its... Alright, yeah, let's go big damage. Big old damage. Go with that.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Come on, Mr. Servitors. The bodies are still there. Love that. Oh, that's warp shit.
What lies beyond?
Never got that back down. Well, there's something down there. Yeah, no shit, there's a trap over there.
Yes, they all will see. In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Blood mixed with machine oil is barely visible on the dark floor. There was someone here. It's a good place to hide, or to set up another ambush.
Patience! Oh, my nerves are frayed.
The screen of this cogitator shows a scrolling line of repeating technolingua. Staring at the obscure symbols gives you a
There'll
headache.
be no peace in my wake.
Hmm? "16 universal laws. Tome containing signs, warnings of the Omnissiah. The set of unshakable tenets of the Adeptus Mechanicus is hidden from the eyes of the layman. Only an anointed tech priest can divine the sacred knowledge from this folio." I think we need that for something. What the fuck are you? Fabricator sensor, Cubist Delphum. The massive Magos, clad in ritual garb, lets out a binaric trill and turns to you. Hold on. It's not okay. This is not okay. Why is this not okay? Because I obviously went in the right direction. Not even going to deign to speak with that person.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
You
They will see.
don't frighten me.
Oh yes, they all will
Flesh is
see.
weak, yet iron knows no pain.
Pay attention.
Here's Mark. Someone's dragged. No.
Vengeance will be swift.
Duty prevails.
One step at a time. Amidst the madness.
Shadows are reversed for a moment.
Let's see.
Okay. Oh. Oh. Dark patches can be seen on the floor. They are smudged as though as though someone walked through them on the way to the footbridge.
What lies beyond?
Lex mechanic. Actual living person. My buddies, my friends.
A genius at work. Let's see. Oh, a wicked thought.
Good. Stabilizer bracers plus 10 ballistic and crit damage. Alright, Lex Mechanic, what's going on with you? A small, heavily augmented man in a filthy, tattered robe stands before you. As you approach, he hesitantly looks up at you, his eyes filled with horror. A portable inscriber with a keyboard hangs from straps at his front, and you can see his detached cerebral cogitator peeking out from under his hood. Alright, hold on. These Steam sounds are a bit too loud. There we go. And it's like specifically in my right ear too. You have nothing to fear from us. Deus Mechanicus. The tech priest decides to take a better look at you, after which he lets out a ragged breath and manages to subdue his shaking. He heard my prayers. I thought I was alone in a kingdom of madness and depravity. Please save me. Tell us who you are and what happened to you. I am Manufactorum Lex Mechanics Zeta 86. I performed the rituals for the machine spirits of Foundry 95 up until we started going mad. Priests devoted to the Omnissiah suddenly started praising the dawn of something or other. They stopped the belts, and then they desecrated the vestiges of the sacred machines with unholy symbols. Some of them resisted, the others grabbed them, tied them up, and then they turned their implants into heresy. I saw the madmen, my former tech comrades, deliberately connect those poor souls to corrupted cogitators. I watched as they were infected with the scrap code and did nothing to stop them. I am recording a violation of the commandment of thine own forge, be a true sentinel. Apostate Zeta 86, your accesses are hereby revoked. Proceed with your report. The icy rumble coming from Pascal's voice causes the Lex Mechanic to lower his head in fear and contrition. How'd you manage to avoid the same fate? I didn't avoid it. They performed the same procedure on me. I felt the touch of unholy code. I allowed it to control me. I abandoned my sacred post and followed one of the traitors, serving his will and gathering all the data for his blasphemous experiments. I was driven by an unholy impulse coming from the depths of my auxiliary cogitator, where the code had lodged itself. Before I found a way to throw off the compulsion, I witnessed horrifying heresy, the extraction of true flesh, and the decomposition on altars, perverse procedures that resulted in heretical abominations. I even accompanied a fallen Magos to the fabricator censor himself, and attended the unholy mass he led personally. It was a wicked ritual, full of willful deviations and blatant inaccuracies, all to create an ungodly monster in the name of the final dawn. Heretic. Forbidden heretical technology spawned by the warp and chaos. Heretic. A tech priest who has renounced the dogmas of the cult Mechanicus in favor of delving into forbidden chaos-tainted technologies. Don't act like the other priests who were infected with corruption. The Lex Mechanic gestures at the wires and connectors spilling out from under his hood. Praise the gifts of the Omnissiah. I managed to disconnect my external cogitator, which I used for primary data processing. The machine is corrupted. The scrap code is locked inside it, like a beast in a cage, but anyone who tries to look inside will fall victim to the heretical program. My primitive brain has been marked by corruption. I still see their silhouettes, hear their interference. I sense the malfunctions in my augmetics, but I was still saved from the great sacrifice. Oh, blessed are the workings of the Omnissiah and his benediction that shelters the weak from evil. Heinrich tenses ever so slightly at the Lex Mechanic's words. You see his hand casually stray to the handle of his weapon, but the interrogator's in no hurry to act. You mentioned a monster? Is that some kind of weapon? No, not those constructs that are melted down in furnaces and sent into the depths of the Manufactorum. It is some kind of semblance of a cogitator, a nightmarish parody of a sacred machine, powered not by the Omnissiah's grace, but by unholy spirits and life force of the unfortunates imprisoned on the lower levels. I don't know much, except that the fabricator censor saw that machine as special. It was special to him and to the crazies who defiled the Omnissiah's abode with their obscene blasphemy. For the final ritual, he even called upon one of the Astartes heretics who arrived at the Manufactorum before the start of the uprisings. He did something terrible, and only after that were they able to switch the machine on. It is a true abomination. Even standing near it is unbearable. I believe that even those who have been deprived of the Omnissiah's grace still feel its influence on them, its monstrous power utilized for unholy computations and chaotic calculations. Whatever the cogitator might spew out at the end of its cycle, no righteous soul should accept its heinous offering. How did your crazed comrades behave? Like the grace of the Omnissiah had left them entirely, replacing free thought and progress with blackest corruption. I witnessed them desecrating structures blessed by the fabricator censor himself. Though what do the blessings of that rotten traitor count for now? Like men possessed, they set upon the sacred instruments and assembled shells and nodes that didn't match any diagram or blueprint I'd ever seen. Sacrilege. You mentioned someone imprisoned on the lower levels? The lay servants of the main units. They live in isolated segments under the sacred machine halls. I heard they were locked in there after the takeover. Then my crazed brethren changed the system for disposing of slag waste and cover the machines in cursed symbols. Lex Mechanic hesitates. After they started the cogitator, they dragged the survivors out of the segments under the machine hulls. Well, what the survivors had turned into. You demonstrate exceptional powers of observation and recall for someone who just happened to survive. I'm a Lex Mechanic. Gathering data is the purpose of my existence. That's even what they used me for. He trails off, belatedly understanding the subtext to the interrogator's words. They used me against my will. The scrap code turns everyone into their slave. Before I rid myself of the cogitator, I was forced to serve alongside those who perpetrated these atrocities and witness their obscenities. Turn to Heinrich. What do you make of it? The interrogator tilts his head. Servant of the Omnissiah, I must know more. About the final dawn, the fabricator sensor, his mass, and about this machine as well. I could give you the coordinates, but Lex Mechanic drops his head. Even though I was present for many blasphemies committed by those heretics, all the details that were captured and processed by my true flesh are in the augmetic that was corrupted by the scrap code. I am convinced that if I hadn't fought off that foreign compulsion in time, I would have been doomed. The corruption would have spread to my biological cogitator as well. Lex Mechanic taps a finger on the device hanging from his ear on several wires. I swear that no devout tech priest should come into contact with what's hidden in that once sacred device. Heinrich's expression shifts as he stares intently at the disconnected implant and the still intact connectors protruding from under the Lex Mechanic's collar. The corner of his mouth twitches involuntarily. Abelard notices the look on Heinrich's face, and once he does, he sighs heavily and looks away. Change the info there. Can the cogitator be disconnected and reconnected to another machine? Lex Mechanic shakes his head in reproach. Even if the very idea of exposing a holy machine to the scrap code wasn't profane in itself, my augmetics are not universally compatible. They cannot be connected to another machine spirit. They were created to interact within the system of my true flesh, to innervate my compulsor unit and output data via the inscriber. Once I am safe, I swear that I will immediately perform a cleansing, rite, and destroy. In other words, there is only one way to extract the data stored in the cogitator. What? Reconnect the cogitator to the augmetic system. The Lex Mechanic will serve as a conduit for transmitting the data. We will learn the details, even if they are incomplete, of the things he saw and heard, but is now unable to recall. The Lex Mechanic, who has been listening to your discussion in puzzlement, finally understands what is going to happen to him, and he begins to back away in fear. No, anything but that. I'll die. No, it'll be worse than that. I'll succumb to the corruption. I'm begging you, please. I'd rather be burned as a heretic than have the scrap code in my biological cogitator. At these words, Heinrich pauses for a fraction of a second, almost as if he is reconsidering. In failing to offer any resistance against the enemies of the Omnisire, Unit Zeta 86 lost the grace of his machine rank and was recategorized as a resource of the Manufactorum. The defilement and torture of said resource, if committed to advance the struggle against heresy, will not be deemed an apostasy or malefaction against a living soul. Upon expiry of the unit's utility, disposal is recommended. Ooh. Heinrich, stop. The leaders of the cult would never discuss anything of importance in front of witnesses. Leave the poor man alone. Or, dogmatic, cannot allow the information to go to waste. One life is a small price to pay for the good of the Imperium. Leave the poor man alone. We need to know where the cogitator is. Even if the heretics' conversations are unimportant, I must know why the machine was so valuable to them. I'll tell you. The Lex Mechanic rummages in his ragged clothes until he produces a scrap of parchment. A different augmetic is responsible for my muscle memory. It has a data storage, too. I remember where I walked, and when I pressed with my fingers. Here are the coordinates, and the code. It's probably the code to the bay. He scratches out the numbers with his fingernail and passes the parchment to Heinrich. Heinrich's eyes bore into the smaller man's. At last, having reached some conclusion, turns to you. He is the subject of your world, Medea. It is for you to decide his fate. He will be taken to my ship. After the cleansing rites, a place will be found from there. He has been tainted by corruption and cannot allow him on my ship. He will seek out his own path to salvation. Kill the Lex Mechanic. The weak deserve only death. Why can't there be like a more merciful one? Like, kill the Lex Mechanic. I'm sorry, but you have fallen to corruption and must be purged. I don't know. Wish I did a hard save rather than a quick save for this. Them cleansing rites done. The Lex Mechanic is given the shuttle coordinates and hurries away. Heinrich watches him go, then looks at you. Excessive kindness. Medea gets good people into trouble. Let's hope that the corruption only affected the disconnected augmetic and not his soul. Come on, we need to find this cogitator. Head trauma. No.
In this tapestry of a world,
Ooh, shortcut.
I am the rogue
A
thread.
soldier would have been disciplined for such a performance.
Did you just fail? Holy shit. There we go.
Curiosity
That was
sings
the
in my
only
veins.
thing there. Well, I mean, that looks like it's the fucking cogitator in question, right? I'll check to see if there's anything.
Patience. Oh, my nerves are frayed. In the shadows of the Imperium's ignorance.
No, 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 no,
my
no, no, no,
genius
no, 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 no. I didn't think that they would
Oh, how
follow
they fear
me
the
specifically.
brilliance that eludes their narrow vision. Schemes within schemes.
Sins hidden in the heart turn all to decay.
I wanted to see if there was...
How can one find the right way without his light?
Alright, now we go down.
One step at a time, amidst the madness.
Experience? Nothing matters more.
They will see. Oh, yes, they all will see.
Since I now know that there's a thing that's about to happen.
Ha! There will be no peace in my wake.
Oh, that's a lot of tech priests. Cubus Delphi. The massive Magos, clad in ritual garb, lets out a binheric trill and turns to you. From beneath the deep hood of his mantle, two dimly lit eye implants gaze out at you. You hear another binheric tirade, this time clearly addressed at you. What's the matter, little tin comrade? Implants on the blink? Forgotten how to speak properly? Who in the void are you? You dare address me in the vile tongue of savages? Me, the steward of Kiava Gamma, lord of the machine world? Kneel, pathetic spawn, if you seek swift disposal. Who are you? You propose that I, the rogue trader of the Von Blankist line, kneel before you? I'm giving you 5 minutes. No, not to beg forgiveness. Speak your last words and to offer your final confession. You're one of the troglodytes who once had the gall to oppress my comrades and resist my will, a messenger from the barbarian who drank the sacred unguents bestowed upon her through others' toil. Very well then, your appearance is the perfect opportunity to teach your ilk a lesson. My name is Cubus Delphum. I once held the title of Fabricator Censor of the Kiava Gamma Manufactorum, but I rejected it. along with the other fetters that hindered progress. Once my faith was flawed and led naive fools from the cult Mechanicus into the darkness of ignorance. Now I am this world's master and serve the true gods. You tread upon their territory, and you do not number among their legion servants. Therefore, you must be subject to immediate disposal. High-ranking tech priest who may act as the overseer of an entire planet. That's it? Okay. As the senior functioning member of the Priesthood of Mars, I, Magos Explorator Pascal Newman, declare this temple to the machine god compromised and forthwith forbid all service within it. I dethrone the Fabricator Censor, the ignorant heretic who has betrayed the Omnissiah, and condemn as anathema any and all standard procedures implemented by him. Let the cycle of the blasphemous operations he has put into motion be discontinued. Pascal switches to Divine Herrick, and you hear dissonance burgeoning in the depths of the Forged Cathedral. Some of the giant mechanisms heed his order and go still, while others, obeying the Fabricator Censor's will, continue their work. Crashes, explosions, and the clanging of crumpling metal signify that some dissent among the machines has interrupted the Manufactorum's production cycle. Hanuman, liar, you are not him. Demence Hanuman obeys me. His mind is open to the voices of the void, and the scrap code he created protects my world. And I will not have you, rusted refuse from the misfit caste of explorators, call me ignorant. This statement is false. Your regalia have been revoked. You have been deemed defective and will be eliminated. Pascal turns to you and says dryly, initiating heretic search, designation, Demence Hanuman. I wish to execute the retribution procedure. What did you do to the governor of Kiava Gamma? Is he alive? The removal of unserviceable artifacts was the first step toward retooling this world. Only my tech comrades heeded the call of truth that reached into their cogitators and allowed them to pierce the veil of empty dogmas. Poor old Gaprak. 10 or so years back, he told me he felt uneasy in the presence of the Tin Can comrades. I mean, the esteemed Adeptus Mechanicus. He casually complained about not having been dealt a normal planet. I'll have to honor his memory with a prayer once we finish purging this place. Abelard brandishes his weapon. Thankfully, the Fabricator Censor here did not require any coercion to confess to treason. So you have treated one master for another. I would have expected a Fabricator Censor to be smarter than that. I usually prefer negotiations to fighting. Fighting destroys property and wastes resources. But in your case, I'm afraid that extreme measures must be taken. You've traded one master for another? I would have expected a Fabricator Censor to be smarter than that. Fabricator Censor's vox lets out a piercing, barely audible sound that makes your insides shudder. I will rip out your spinal column and braid it around my staff, you arrogant creature. Seeing what you've done to this world and its poor people, I will not allow it to continue. You may be driven by your will to fight, but know this. Kiava Gamma has already been converted. Its lines have been restructured. And its servants have already tasted the fruits of progress. In the crucibles of this manufactorum, torrid liquid metals will be used to forge vessels for sacred spirits. The adepts are already tirelessly delving deeper into new mysteries that were once barred by false tenets. You, servants of fake gods, are too late. The entire might of this world will soon rise up against the anathema and his slaves. So many open admissions of heresy in so few sentences. Sister, how many death sentences would you say his words warrant? I cannot answer that, Master von Calix. It is not my duty to measure the guilt of heretics. When the Adeptus Sororitas appear before enemies of the Imperium, it is time to fire, not count. And now is one of those times. Check the chronometer. 5 minutes have passed. I hereby sentence you to death, and I will be the one to carry it out. In the name of the Golden Throne, I will stop you and those who follow you. You deserve a painful death for what you have wrought upon the machines of this world and their priests. You know why I like deranged tin cans like you? When you're killed, you leave behind plenty of useful spare parts. I think I'll make a portable recap machine out of you. Not the corrupted recap machine. Not the chaos coffee. I don't want the chaos coffee, dude. Alright, your 5 minutes have passed. I hereby sentence you to death, and I will be the one to carry it out. Comrades, purge the manufactorum of any random variables. I must prepare for the culmination of our great work. Gut the outsiders. Let their blood mix with oil. Death to apostates. Something, something. Accept the gifts of something or other. Blah, 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 blah. Truth, conceal the path from the impious. Find a way to the heart of Manufactorum. Lay him in the dark. Pascal, you have head trauma. Oh, geez, there's a lot of them. Skituras? Like their model. Holy shit, there's a lot of them. Here's Alpha. Yeah. I feel like if I were to ever get into Warhammer, like mini collection basically, I'd probably go for Adeptus Mechanicus.
Oh, glorious spectacle of
Hey,
your
I got him.
demise.
Okay, we got 17 boyos. Logus Heretic. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. Like, where's the last one? Heinrich? Buddy? Pal? Oh, Heinrich. Or Pascal, you're so far away. Get Argenta back a little bit. Alright.
We're powerless to act.
No line of sight, what do you mean? What do you mean? Is that no line of sight? Have a little bit of toughness.
A wicked thought. Ha! What if?
It will be done.
guys don't have a whole lot of health. No line of sight. Come on, buddy. Oh, this guy has the health. That's where it all went. Awkward. Trench line for one round. Good, good. Start moitoring each other. There we go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Get that. There we go. A bad feeling about that guy being at the computer. You know?
Another foe painted black.
Oh, they're going this way.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Oh! Hey, don't stand in a line. Got it. Got it. Okay.
Let's see to it.
And have they deal damage. Deflection and armor.
Naturally. For the throne's glory.
Okay. What does this do again?
I feel the power surging.
He feels the power. Right here, I can just go. Bam. Oh damn. Barge. Nope.
Explorers know one route. Forward.
Okay, there's people coming. I do love the snare trap. Good shit right there. Any alphas? Alright, load.
Pathetically sound approach. I will do my duty.
Can't get them.
I've suffered worse.
This is fine. Damn.
Each strike is a prayer.
True. Ah, missed. There's like a good chance of it. Okay, come on.
Oh, a genius at work.
Oh. Degradation. Okay. Very nice. Ah, she can't quit.
If I may,
Oh yeah. Fuck them up. Fuck each other up.
I am another.
Uh. Good. Very nice.
High momentum.
Yeah. The production belts.
At your beck and call. Indeed. Grey hair, sure hand. Victory is imminent. On fewer tongue.
Got one of their allies.
I refuse. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Okay, we got him knocked down. Rip.
Let's see.
I'm sure we need to do there.
Schemes within schemes.
I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Damn.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Yeah, they had to remote.
Isn't this a a job for the serfs.
Request denied.
Yeah, get him.
Get me a target.
Is this an attack? Yeah.
But of course, Lord Captain. Let's see to it.
Right. Guitari, power sword. Oh, arc rifle. Good one.
Curiosity sings in my veins. Yes, genius triumphs.
The marks of chaos seem to draw your eye and strike terror in you at the same time. These are all sneaks, yeah? Sneech, sheesh, whatever the fuck his name is.
See what lies beyond.
No.
Patience. My nerves are frayed.
Oop, back somewhere. Back here? Yep, right there.
They will see. Oh yes, they all will see.
There we go, concentrator there, we got some goods there.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
See that? That looks very much breakable.
The Emperor favors me today.
Curiosity sings in my
Conjugator.
veins.
This maglev impaler. The screen of this cogitator shows a scrolling line of repeating technolingua. Staring at the obscure symbols gives you a headache.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Athletics check failed, huh?
Patience. My
Unexpected
nerves are
result.
frayed.
Melta Ultima? Staff of Blood. Something is howling within the metal housing, as if the machine spirits of this cogitator are lamenting some irreparable loss. Your knowledge of machine spirits is sufficient to trick the system and subdue it to your will. A false query, a crafty manipulation of controls, and you get what you want. You gain access to the cogitator's systems. A device's machine spirit can do nothing to thwart you. Subdued by its defeat, it hides in the depths of its lair. Awaken the cogitator's machine spirit. You touch the levers and the reels of the control panel and disturb the slumber of the machine of the spirits that reside within this cogitator. The machine dawdles as if still drowsy, but nevertheless performs its assigned function. Oh. Cogitator is silent, awaiting new commands. I have no idea what the fuck I just did. I'm gonna be honest. That's a big ass thing. What's it? Okay, we've got that. And then there's this. As you approach the cogitator, you notice a number of deep scratches left by huge claws on its metal surfaces. Despite the apparent damage, the machine seems to be working in working condition. View the log first. The log contains nothing of interest. The maintenance ritual schedule for the sacred machine that moves the bridge, an activation log, and a few notes of a religious nature entered by tech priests. Activate the emergency bridge. You touch the levers and the reels on the control panel and disturb the slumber of the spirits that reside within this cogitator. The machine dawdles as if still drowsy, but nevertheless performs its assigned function. Okay. Cogitator is silent, awaiting new commands. Step away. The broken panel of the cogitator is sparking, its blind, dark screen showing nothing. The device, now evidently used to chop bodies into pieces, was once an ordinary cooling fan. Oh. Holy shit. Thank God the servers don't rock that. Hard save. Dying tech priest. This pile of human remains, carelessly tossed together, emits a suffocating stench. The torn, gutted bodies once belonged to tech priests, but you cannot spot even a glint of metal anywhere. All their implants are gone. Suddenly, one of the ravaged bodies makes the tiniest movement. The tortured man's lips move ever so slightly, his half-closed eyelids twitching. Approach the still-breathing man. The man can barely breathe without his respirator implant. It is a miracle he survived the horrific vivisection, but it takes you a single look at the gaping wounds where the augment was ripped out to realize death is only a matter of time. As if having sensed your presence, the half-dead man looks at you and sharply inhales the hot air. Machine spirit, deliver me. The Binheric Requiem comes from Pascal's vox, sounds solemn and grim. Upon hearing it, the man's mutilated face twists in a weak semblance of a smile. Who did this to you? My comrades. His voice is barely audible. It seems each word takes the man a great deal of effort. Machine spirit, has the Omnisire truly abandoned us? Kiava Gamma has fallen into the maw of the eternal enemy. The holy magi, they succumbed to heresy. The rest were stripped of their true flesh. To feed the heresy, preserve us, deliver me from erring. Sacrifice living blood from vessels of the true flesh, while their heart is still beating. After that, oblivion. His eyes grow glassy. I knew you would come. I've waited so very long. Deliver me from my torment. What a horrible fate, to be betrayed by one's own. I attest that the 3 categorical requirements for assigning the status of Martyr of the Faith have been met. Opposition to the enemy, preservation of adherence to dogma, and a brutal death. Requesting the right to extract the subject's organic matter for it to be used in the creation of an honorable servo skull. The man, to his minutes from death, wheezes weakly. It's an honor. I am thankful for the right to serve. Pascal, your request is granted. Victor Recorder servo skull. Heretical. And the man suffering, go to the Omnisire. Pascal, your request is granted. Servo Skull is designed to spread the glory and splendor of its mighty owner. Bring down those who betrayed Kiava Gamma. Leaning over the dying man, Pascal, in a decisive yet surprisingly respectful motion, cuts his throat. Wielding a long scalpel, it takes him mere moments to release the cervical vertebrae from the hold of muscles and sinew, and to cut the vertebrae, severing the head from the body. Let your service continue, tech comrade. Wondering if we can move along that. Alright. Oh, the fuck is that? Oh, there's some servitors down there. So totally gonna be a fight area, right? God damn it.
Let's proceed.
Any of the lads getting injured? Any of my boys, my sons? Cogitator's panel has dozens of breakers, buttons, handles, switches, and other control mechanisms. View the log. You discovered the local data crypt with contents collected by either previous operators or the machine spirit itself. Using your access, you study the archives stored on this cogitator. Use supply protocol. At first glance, the records look like a typical shipping report, but after further reading, it becomes apparent that the focus here is not ore or assembly parts, but augments extracted from living tech priests and spent mass. The flesh of the victims killed either during or for the sake of machine rituals. Production? The log looks damaged, the lines are uneven, and some of the values seem impossible. After a few minutes of studying the records, you feel your head begin to swim. The stored data can only be comprehended by a twisted mind touched by chaos corruption. View the Ascension Protocol. This record looks like a sermon of some mad chaos worshipper. The log, clearly written from someone else's words, mentions the heart that exudes virtue and the cradle that rocks the child of truth. Step away from the cogitator. So, nothing there, huh? Okay. The system accepts the access code. The clang of moving bolts indicates that the door has been unlocked. The inside. I mean, surely. Come on, buddies. Smash. That way.
for a deck officer. Your physical fitness is impressive, Master Versarian. I take it your position as Seneschal is extremely demanding.
Young man, Rosette or no, stop lavishing these condescending compliments on me. If I were your age, you would be no match for me.
Tapestry of a world.
No.
I am the rogue threat.
I woke up with...
How are you supposed to get that one? Tech use 97. This large device is a cargo lift used to transport parts. Cyberguard accepts the access codes and sets mysterious mechanisms in motion. Fuck does this go? Sector N. Oh. This flamer digi weapon. Oh, it's like the a marvelous compact weapon in the form of a ring. It allows the wearer to fire a single flamer shot stream once per combat. Flamer shot stream, 8 to 12 damage, 5% 6 range, applies burning 4. This attack deals 8 to 12 damage and has 5% armor penetration and applies 4. That. Mastercrafted Power Maul. Love to see it. All this stuff. Maglock scabbards. Very nice. Sure. Can't like anything here. Alright. Alright. A desecrated altar to the Omnissiah. The purity seals have been torn off, the data slates with sacred codes shattered, and some of the teeth on the gear adornments torn off. John put like made little boobs on that. Things getting more and more corrupt as we head this way. It is disconcerting. Promethium, hazardous chemicals. This eerie-looking makeshift structure is an altar to Sneech. Amidst the revolting totems and twisted symbols dedicated to the Chaos God, you notice a string of nines burned into the metal surface. String of nines. No Dements or whatever is that away. So, yeah. Like 100% looks like a combat area. That was the game saving there. That is 100% the right way. So fuck that shit. The crucified body had all of its augmetics removed. Judging by the abundance of blood, they were ripped out when the tech priest was still alive. Corrupted rust stalker. Box skull, box skull. The vats, which were previously used to store fuel oil, have been turned into reservoirs for blood, an ingredient for the vile rituals that have replaced the orderly protocols of the Manufactorum. False information. The tech priest tears himself away from reading his data slate and looks up at you. His respiratory augmetics is missing. Instead, the lower half of his face is covered in deathly pale artificial flesh. You take note of the multitudes of fresh augmetics attached to his head. They seem to have been inserted haphazardly, and pus is seeping from the untreated wounds. I have heard your footsteps in the void. You are Von Valankius, are you not? Pascal exchanges a series of Herrick's signals with the tech priest before saying menacingly, initiating arrest procedure. This unit is using a fabricated identification code which constitutes a grade 4 transgression. Identify yourself. His white and lifeless lips stretch into a smile. My name is Demence Hanuman. I believe it is familiar to you. This statement is false. This unit stands accused of identity theft. I am guilty of many things, but not the transgression you speak of. I have stolen nothing from you, my tech comrade, unlike many others who have indeed robbed you. Why are you using the name of another? Another? I have the right to bear this name. It is my humble inheritance, which I received from Archmagos Armanat. To renounce it is to betray his ideas. The blessed Armanat taught us that the cycle must be discontinued, and it seems I have become his best student. Now I aspire to know all, comprehend all, as is the Omnissiah's will. Blasphemy. Should you continue these sacrilegious mentions of sacred litanies and heretical perversions of the blessed Armanat's philosophy, you will be destroyed. You wish to sound outraged, but I sense your curiosity. I understand knowledge is intoxicating. This craving for new knowledge gnaws on me as well, but be patient. I am deciphering a great mystery, and my name became the start of the key. I analyzed the archives and found it in places where it should not be. Hanuman, Hanuman, Hanuman. I kept seeing this marker upon the traces of a great plot, of the deception created by Archmagos Armanat. No sound mind is capable of such twisted cunning. But my mind was no longer sane. It could no longer stay within the narrow confines of the norm. Each new discovery loosened the imperatives of obedience and granted ever greater freedom. I avoided the traps of the maimed hunter who seeks to hide the truth. But words mean little. Do you want me to show you the truth? His pale lips spread into a smile. You're a heretic, are you not? Merely a seeker of knowledge. However, The experiments I have conducted extend far beyond the allowed limits of the ordinary transmechanic tasked with maintaining a planetary Vox array. But ever since I received that strange signal, my ears have been opened to what I have previously considered to be forbidden knowledge. Every night since then, I have been tuning my Vox station to that very frequency and listening to the voices. Am I a heretic? The fabricator's censor didn't think so. He conducted inspections, but he did not prohibit my research. Later, when a mysterious visitor revealed the truth to his optics, he came to me once more. I nurtured the scrap code for him in the depths of my mind. It lives there still, eating through my synapses and building new connections that are open to the new knowledge of change. Is freedom heresy? If so, then I am a heretic. The reason for the failure of this unit's operations has been established. You have fallen victim to the cognitive corruption of chaos. Your computing processes have been disrupted. You are defective. Defective? I reveal the truth. I comprehend, just as the Omnissiah commands. Meanwhile, your mind thrashes about within the cage of data vows. So which one of us is defective? Tech Reese turns his data slate around. Its vid screen is covered with green runes performing an ungodly dance of computation. Pascal casts a quick glance over the data slate and says with contempt, "The sacred logic is impaired. Your calculations are irrational." Yet, they are still correct. What is this mishmash of numbers? It is all unholy nonsense, a betrayal of pure logic, the fruit of a diseased mind that has renounced the fundamental laws. Pascal's voice is raspy, like the dry throat of an ailing man. Your calculations lack sense, they are riddled with errors. Your wisdom reeks of corruption. I do not understand your calculations, but I would like to. Very much so. Okay. Wisdom reeks of corruption. You are biased because your mind is dark, laywoman. Pascal, do you have any preferences regarding the killing of your former tech comrade? Pascal switches to Technolingua, his Vox erupting in a series of binaric signals. There is no need for secrecy. Let her understand. The heretic nods in your direction with a smile. Pascal glances at you with worry and says in Gothic, his voice doubtful, "Following a voluntary surrender, I will be willing to commute the punishment from immediate destruction to arrest and isolation, for the purposes of conducting an exhaustive interrogation." Does that not violate some protocol or other? Indeed, tech comrade, does it not violate the dogma of purity? Pascal says nervously, "Your possible familiarity with matters related to the fate of the blessed Armanaut justifies this violation." Well, I, for one, am not willing to let him live. If you think it is best. The heretic's deranged smile remains on his dead lips. Request denied, tech comrade. You have to pull what I know out of my head. Oh. Okay. Well, fine then. I'm okay with this. Not too many of them. Let's get you there. Argenta. Alright. Backline. 25, combat servitor. Oh, got one of them. That's good. Oh, what does this one do? Stronghold stratagem. Choose for the round. Allies in that area gain 8 armor. Cannot be over-penetrated. Gain immunity to the prone effect. Gain 2 deflection against area attacks. Additionally, they do not suffer injuries after receiving damage. Alright. My cover! Too fast to die. These guys are going much further than I was expecting. %. Nice. Alright. Yes, yes. Good. Love to see it. Too far. Oh, this was an easy combat. Pascal stands motionless as he stares at the heretic's corpse. After a long silence, he finally says in a hollow voice, I am taking his neural cogitator. The data contained within must be analyzed to supplement the catechism of maintenance and operation. Do you intend to pull that thing out of its head? Revolting. What if it's contagious? Request denied. The value of the data justifies the risk. Pascal leans over the corpse, activates the sampling tool on one of his mechadendrites and plunges it into the tangle of augmetics covering the heretic's skull. Oh boy. Where was my friend committing heresy? Plasma gun. Two-handed. And portable cogitator. Plus 10 bonus to logic. A mishmash of steel, wire, and augmentations shaped by some madman into an unknown and frightening monstrosity. Set up ladder. This redemption gauntlets. Whereas melee attacks are like made against enemies under the effect of exposed weakness, decrease the enemy's strength by 10 and agility by 10 as well. Okay. Damn. Okay, so that just leads back up to there. Alright. Alrighty then. Oh, these are... Those are pauldrons. The curved parts appear foreign compared to the ordinary geometry of the Manufactorum. The many holes and fasteners indicate that each component serves as but a single part of some wicked design. Cannon. Fucking minigun right there. Looks like a... Yep. Heresy shit. Big old heresy shit. The car is filled with refuse, broken pieces of spare parts chopped up, lumps of flesh, bits of wire, and other rubbish. Adaptive flak vest. This flak vest grants the wearer +3 deflection and 15% armor at the beginning of every combat. During the first 3 rounds, the bonus deflection is reduced by 1 and the armor by 5 at the end of each round. If the wearer's intelligence is more than 55. Seems like something that would be good for him. Holy vestment. Or you could like select that and just gives the stuff. inside.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Okay. That's gonna run like all the way that way. Friends, get off of that. Guessing we need to hit this, and then that'll knock the thing out. Yep. Solving puzzles. Manual valve, a sacred instrument for manually activating the good machines of the Omnissiah. Yeah, that's what a valve is. Heretic trophies. Heretic trophies. Love me some heretic trophies. What? I need that valve for. Here. Cogitator looks dead. Only a single lit lumen shows that there's life in the machine. Bring your Electu to the scanner. Several lumens light up on the panel. You hear distinct clicks and the cogitator goes quiet, clearly having fulfilled its purpose. Wabba. Oh, is this the hidden cache? Bonk. Bonk. The door's pneumatic actuators have obviously failed. It can now only be opened manually by finding a suitable valve. Aha. Found it. Oh, I like that it highlights what you put in there now. It's my secret cache. Oh. God damn it. The thick layer of dust is a telltale sign that this place has had very few visitors. Despite that, you can see faint footprints that were left by whoever came here last. These old research cogitators are unpowered. The device, which bears an odd resemblance to both a cogitator and a furnace, reacts to your presence and with a faint blink of its lights and an inscrutable binary signal. God damn it. Argenta. The towering furnace, reefed in scarlet light, fills you with awe. As you approach, the heavy thrum of ancient servo motors erupt from the machine's depths, along with crackling binary undertones. The dust-covered keys are illuminated by a faint pale glow. Disable the traps. The furnace responds with a short binary signal that evokes the mechanical rustling of unseen switches. Disable the gas supply. A long binary trill from the guts of the furnace triggers a wave of quiet clicks coming from every direction. Request Theodore's data. Rumbling builds up in the bowels of the furnace, growing stronger apace with the sound of the ancient motors. The rumble is echoed by the screeching of metal gears and a clanging of unknown mechanisms. Slowly, almost hesitantly, the creation of the Adeptus Mechanicus disgorges a data bank engraved with the coat of arms of House von Valankius. Storage device discovered the data contains has been securely encrypted. Okay. Alright, that was one. Don't I have like another thing? Threat analysis. Find within the primordial truth the strength and power to deliver retribution unto those who kept you blind. Sated with its divinity, manifest the will of the true gods and strike down the unbelievers. Okay. Before we do that, we're getting in here for today. It is a little bit past 8:30, so